All of Britain has had to endure freezing conditions today with bitter easterly winds sweeping snow showers across the country. A day of snowballs and sledging for some spelt travel misery for others, and up to 1,500 schools and many businesses remained closed as drivers chose to avoid icy roads. The Met Office are warning tonight that similar conditions can be expected tomorrow, as Katie Razzall now reports.
Perhaps this is what bemusement looks like in a seagull. But then it's not often you see this. Or this. Early snow uniting much of Britain, turning streets into playgrounds, commons into picture postcards, but for many bringing nothing but cold and chaos.
Just fed up with it already, actually, yeah. And this is just the start of it, so
a bit too early in the season for my liking. We coped with it reasonably well, I think.
Of course, if you're under about 20 or just young at heart, this weather has created a powdery paradise. Fun being had all over the country today. Last year's sledges now looking like a goodbye. Wrapping up warm, the key.
I've got a vest on, a t-shirt on, a jumper on, a ski jacket on, leggings on, a pair of jeans on, 3 pairs of socks, a pair of Wellington boots.
Hundreds of schools are closed, though it was water problems, not the snow, that shut this one in North Yorkshire. 177 are closed in County Durham alone, 80 in Northumberland, 86 in Kent. It's up to individual head teachers whether they open in snowy weather. But even when they want to, they can be stymied by teachers not being able to get in.
I got a succession of at least 6 phone calls from staff saying 2 of them were actually stuck, couldn't move their cars to go back home even, and the rest were saying they couldn't go any further.
Shuttle 17 Tango surface wind 0508 knots, runway 06 cleared takeoff.
Spare a thought for travellers, the advice to stay at home unhelpful for those who can't. Passengers at Edinburgh Airport going nowhere fast.
I've been stuck here for 4 days now, and all the flights are cancelled again today, so.
We live in England and we're trying to get back to London. Our flight was yesterday morning, but everything's cancelled.
In some ways we kind of chuckle to ourselves because this is what we deal with every winter, and Canada has the infrastructure set up to deal with it. But I mean, obviously here that's not the same thing, so it's not fair for us to compare our winters and how we deal with it to your winters and how you deal with it.
Snow disrupted air travel in many places today, not just Edinburgh affected, but Glasgow International, Inverness and Aberdeen. Leeds Bradford closed its runway to clear the snow. London City suspended all flights. And there were delays and cancellations at Newcastle, Blackpool, Robin Hood in Doncaster, Norwich, Gatwick and Heathrow and Southampton airports. Train lines were affected, including parts of the East Coast Main Line, ScotRail, Northern Rail and South Eastern, though by lunchtime 70% were arriving at their destination on time. The roads too are problematic in many parts. Though mindful of the lack of it last time it snowed, gritting is seemingly ensuring main thoroughfares are passable. Still, ice and rubber are always a potentially dangerous mix. Some roads, like a stretch of the A66 in County Durham, closed.
We don't make the decision lightly. By closing a main arterial route like this, it cuts off all the local communities.
Of course, there are better ways to travel if you've got access to vehicles of a more furry and vocal kind. The bad news, more snow is due in eastern Scotland, as if they haven't got enough, the northeast of England, central and southeastern parts. Perhaps the only way through these bitter times is to put on your fleece and enjoy the spectacle, though it may wear a little thin.
Katie Razzall reporting, and we'll have a full weather forecast for the next couple of days at the end of the programme.